Hello, my loves, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Tuesday, the 16th of July, 2019. Thank you so much for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm using the fabulous Lo Scarabeo Tarot. Today is also an eclipse. We have a partial lunar eclipse, which is a full moon in Capricorn. I've made a separate video on that. Have a look at that video to find out what the eclipse means. Eclipses are important because the full moon and new moon process is interrupted. And because it's interrupted, the energy lingers for about 6 months. And it gives you an opportunity, in this case, to let go of ways that demand your attention and require you to work in a certain way that aren't helpful and effective and productive, and you're able to recognize those, let those go, and replace them with things that are productive. Also feelings that are not helpful, and letting those go and working on manifesting positive feelings instead. So have a look at that video. It will shed some light on this issue. And let's have a look at what the tarot cards say about the lunar eclipse. Wonderful. We have the King of Swords. You see why I like this deck. It's clear, it's crisp, it's colorful, it's clean, it's minimalist, it's very... I just like the the simplicity of the way things are expressed. So we have the King of Swords, a court card. We have the Two of Chalices, which is a minor arcana card, and another minor arcana card, an Ace card, a gift from the universe. So the King of Swords is someone who masters the element of air. Swords are a representation of air, and air is about the way you think, the way you communicate, the way you plan your life, the way you make decisions, the way the legal system operates, the rules of our society, what we have to kind of abide by. So, you know, the unspoken rules and the actual legal rules that we have to abide by, things that we can do and we can't do. And we think about these things. And when you're a page of swords or a knight or a princess or a prince of swords, you're learning about making mistakes and saying the wrong thing and putting your foot in it and saying something insensitive to hurt someone's feelings or unwittingly committing a crime. You know, when you're a teenager and everyone else is going to the party where beer is being served and you go there as well, and the police just happen to get you and you get a record for underage drinking. It's that kind of thing where you are governed and ruled by the element of air. By the time you graduate to become the King of Swords, you are the judge, you're the person who enforces the law. And you can see that in this case, the criminal, capital punishment is something that happens in the world of Lo Scarabeo Tarot, and she was beheaded because of a crime she committed, and the King of Swords is okay with that. And it's quite a tough message. The criminal is dead. The butterflies are surrounding the king, which means that now that this crime, this source of negativity is gone, he's made the world a better and freer and more beautiful place. Also, they are nurturing and comforting him in saying, you know, if you feel any guilt about taking a life, it was a necessary evil. And they're comforting him on a soul level, but he really doesn't look like he needs much comforting. He's dressed in yellow. This is what he enjoys doing. He enjoys bringing justice to the world. He wears that crown like it was glued to his head. I mean, it fits perfectly. And he's got these shoulder pads that are faces. So when you look at him, he's protected, and he's protected by the identity that he has created, and it's the identity of justice and truth. The sky with the clouds is, he's a servant of justice. He's a servant under the sky, under the dome of planet Earth, and he feels humble in his position of power, and he tries to genuinely make the right decisions. He's not on a revenge, on an ego trip, on you give someone a little bit of power and they go crazy with it. He's not one of those kings. He is someone who's truly trying to create justice and who defers to the higher wisdom, hence the blue sash with the clouds. The Two of Chalices mean that two people come together and they create a loving situation which teaches both of them and helps them grow up and advance in life. But it's not forever. It gives them strength and it gives them freedom. It allows them to grow and to overcome obstacles by joining forces and by expressing their love for one another. But it's a stepping stone towards reaching something personally that you've always wanted to achieve. So by making the decision to get rid of something negative, the cards are very, very aligned with the message of the eclipse. So the eclipse is the strongest energy that is in the atmosphere today. By making the tough decision to get rid of the negative aspects of your life, you create space. And nature abhors a vacuum. It always fills a vacuum with something more positive. So when you make the tough decision to get rid of something negative and be nurturing and caring towards yourself. I mean, in this situation, the card itself is somewhat upsetting. It's grim, to have to do this is really, for me personally, I couldn't be this judge, and I don't believe in capital punishment, but I couldn't say, you're a criminal, I'm going to end your life, because I don't have a temperament that's strong enough to feel certain in the sense that I have the power to take your life. I would never be able to be in that position, and I would need weeks and months and years to recover from that. But this king is someone who feels like he's a representative of the divine here on planet Earth, and he does make the right decisions, and he is doing the job that he's meant to do. So it's a different personality. Air is a masculine element, so is fire. I'm an earth element, so it's feminine. So is water. It's more about receptive and forgiving and seeing the flaws in people and giving them second chances. The masculine energy sometimes does the things that are irreversible. So he creates this space, he cuts it out of his life, and because of that, he allows love to come in, or a love for something positive in your life, something that you're working towards. It gives you strength and it gives you wings, it gives you freedom. So I am working in this job as a biochemist. I've hit the ceiling in terms of income. So what are my next steps? Do I go into management, or do I start my own company so that I can earn more money, because I want to double or triple my income and I want to do a job that I love? So meeting this person or seeing this job offer in the paper or on the internet gives me an opportunity to strengthen my life, to continue to be the lotus flower working its way through the mud and getting to the surface and spreading its beautiful petals and achieving your maximum potential. And that isn't going to come in unless you create that space for it to have a place in your life. When you align yourself with this, the universe plays ball as well, and it's on your side, this disembodied hand comes out of the clouds and it hands you a pentacle. And a pentacle is the representation of abundance, wealth, career, financial success, promotions, vocations, living your life purpose when it comes to work, living your best life when it comes to career, having a daily routine that really fulfills you and that makes you feel settled and that gives you a home. And also it's a way of living and working that physically isn't so demanding, so that you're not stressed every day and that you're running yourself into the ground, and that you're killing yourself through the work that you're doing. You know, professional tennis players, by the time they're 30, I mean, Serena Williams aside, but most of them have destroyed their knees and hips by the time they're 30 because the sport is so demanding on their joints. Or a doctor who works in the ER and saves lives under incredible pressure, after 10 years of that, it can take a huge toll on the actual doctor. So this is a very simple, straightforward message. It's about being able to identify the real villains in your life. And they can be people, or they can be ways of working or behaving that you're going to say, I'm not going to behave that way anymore. So if you do overtime in your company and you don't get paid for it, and it's just a culture in your company that everyone is expected to do free overtime, then you're going to say, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to find a different job where I'm actually valued and I'm not taken advantage of. So the villain is this culture in my current job where everyone is expected to work for this company for free into the middle of the night, and I'm not having that. I want to work somewhere where I'm happy and where I feel guided, and I'm going to bring down this sword to cut away this situation so that I have space for something better to come in. And then you move into something better. And if you do make a decision today to get rid of something in your life, you're very, very likely to have that immediately replaced by something better. So let's say you take the ultimate risk and you just say, do you know what, screw this, I quit my job without having anything lined up. Most people would say that's very unwise. You need to have something lined up before you quit your job. But sometimes you get to the point where you're so exhausted by working this job, you're working 70 hours a week or 80 hours a week, you don't have time to look at jobs when you get home. You don't have time to go for interviews. Your boss doesn't let you have the time to go for interviews, to find other jobs. Sometimes you just have to quit the job and live off your savings for a bit to find the other job. So today, if that happens, it's really, really likely that you're immediately going to be presented with a better job, a different career, an idea for a different way of creating an income for yourself that reflects your own journey and how far you've come. And if you look at this, here's the decision of you as a human being. And that extends into this woman. So she's the blue figure that is the King of Swords. She's made a decision. She's now got some space in her life. And here's the blessing from the universe saying, I want you to succeed financially. I want you to work smarter, not harder. I want you to really thrive here on planet Earth. And this young man is an extension, the allegorical personification of this pentacle. And they come together, they meet, they fall in love. So the space that you have in your life with the universe wanting to provide for you, intertwine, create a beautiful flower, gives you strength that makes you feel wonderful and supported, and that gives you financial freedom. Number-wise, a court card is 1. So 1 and 2 is 3, and 1 is 4. 4 in numerology represents Saturn, and it represents stability, structure, being able to put down roots, financial freedom, financial independence, and being able to make decisions for yourself because you're the one earning the money and you can decide where you live, how you work, in what circumstances you work, what your commute looks like, what you want to do with your body in terms of, do you want to get into better shape? Do you want to work fewer hours so that you don't exhaust yourself? What if you have a health issue like ME? You have to watch out for yourself. And if you have chronic fatigue, then work in a better way with fewer hours so that the little energy you have is being used, and then maybe sign up for some sort of support because you have a genuine disability which could pick up the slack of the other hours that you simply can't do because you have this genuine disability. So don't be afraid to make decisions. If you take a step towards the universe and have faith and have trust and say, universe, I know you want to take care of me. I know you want me to succeed and to thrive and to have the best experience here on planet Earth. The soil is fertile. Plant a seed that is going to flourish. The universe is going to come along and say, thank you. We do want you to thrive. We see the soil that is abundant and full of minerals and it's rich. So we're going to plant this pentacle as a seed and we're going to help you watch it grow and watch abundance and richness and financial freedom grow in your life because we want that for you. Your guides, your angels, your ancestors, your higher power, they don't want you to be here on planet Earth just to make a living and to scrape by every month. They want you here to achieve your soul mission, and having a financial foundation and security means that you're actually then able to focus on the things that are really valuable to you so that you can achieve why you've come back into this lifetime and you're able to resolve money. And this energy via the lunar eclipse lasts for 6 months. So take this reading and please watch the video on the lunar eclipse because this energy of the universe helping you financially and you being able to make decisions to get rid of negative things in your life lasts for 6 months. It's an amazing opportunity for all of us to make the next 6 months a time where we're more prosperous, abundant, and we don't have to live in constant terror and financial insecurity, which is an awful feeling. And we can replace it with trust and faith. Have a wonderful day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. I use the tarot, astrology, and numerology in my personal readings. Have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Oh, and remember to subscribe and share, please. I'd be ever so grateful.